This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basillemba.com.
And now, FAIRFAX Breakfast Club with your host, Basil Lemba.
Welcome to the FAIRFAX Breakfast Club show. My name is Basil Lemba and I will be your host. The FAIRFAX Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring to you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote, and today's quote is, "Save the child and you save the nation." L. Ron Hubbard. With us today in the studio, we have two guests, more than one, which is very special. And they are the Williams, I would say, Gabrielle and Marcella. Hello again.
Hello again.
Nice to have you back.
Yes, thank you.
And the first show, we got you, Gabrielle, talking to us. You shared information about your business, your entrepreneurship, and the different activities. And this show, we're going to talk with your mom as well.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so Marcella, tell us what it is like to parent a young entrepreneur.
It's an adventure. It is an adventure. It's amazing watching the transformation and the development and the opportunities. But I think most of all, it just takes a lot of discipline and patience. And as I would say, it takes a village. You know, it takes really reaching out to others to assist in the journey. It is a journey. So having my daughter and my son, who are both entrepreneurial, it's about scheduling and keeping everything in sync and making sure everything works in harmony.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing.
Okay. You say discipline. Be more specifics. What does that mean? What do you mean? Give us an example of discipline, because when you say discipline, it's a bit general. It's a big word.
Right. As far as understanding your goal as a parent, and as in her case, her manager, sticking with the structure, what you've laid out, instead of sway. It's very easy to sway go off course, but I have to be focused and staying on course. That's the discipline that's needed. As a mother, making sure that I'm instilling the values that are there, that I want to instill in her and my son, and also as her manager, knowing my line, where I am mother, and we're talking about my parental duty, my duties, and her duties as my child, and she's the boss. She's the CEO, so now, okay, we're having a discussion, and you are free to express yourself as long as you're respectful. But that's how it goes.
That's probably, to me, one of the toughest deal. That's probably the difficult situation. I guess you got to switch identity. And as you mentioned, that you're the CEO and the CEO.
Yes, right.
So sometimes when you are the parents, I imagine the mother, you lay down the law.
Exactly.
When you come to the business, Gabrielle over here lays down the law.
That's right.
In a respectful manner.
Keyword, respect.
Exactly.
Keyword, guys.
Right. So with a mother, she can't say no, but as a businesswoman, she can tell me no.
Respectfully.
Respectfully. That is the key word.
But I think it must be a thrill for you guys to work together, I imagine.
It is. I think, and I've heard you say it, so I know we both think the same way, that it helps to bond our relationship. Obviously, we bump heads at times when it comes to the business, but I think the biggest part of her starting her business, especially in the beginning, was the opportunity for us to work together. I mean, and I've been able to learn from her. She's taught me some of the jewelry making, which is so relaxing and therapeutic. Once I learned to do it, I actually enjoy helping her sometimes. So that's something, now I can speak her language, I can understand. She's talking, she's excited about these gemstones and the new designs, and we're communicating more often, we're doing things together. So, you know, communication is the key to any relationship.
Absolutely.
So us having the opportunity to communicate so much about the different areas of our life, personally and in business, it's just very helpful in our overall relationship.
And how is that relationship with your son?
Oh, just, you know, wonderful. Because
is that the same, different? I mean, I'm just asking. Is that the same? I'm imagining he's a boy, so it's slightly different.
He is, you know, it's slightly different, yes. But he, like I said, he's the kind of boy that he's just very compassionate. What's that?
Loving.
Loving, yes, compassionate and supportive. He's a family guy. So he's there supporting her. If we say, okay, you need to kick in and help, he knows he has to do what he has to do. He's even helped her at certain events. He's come out and helped her at her table or booth. So
With pay.
with pay, yes. With pay, yes, 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 exactly.
You want him to enjoy it fully.
Right. Exactly. He wants to be paid. This is not volunteer.
He appreciates the payroll.
Yes. But at least he's there.
He's not watching.
But it's great.
Okay. I got you. Now, take us to the beginning when she started, or before she started her business.
Yeah.
From your eyes, and the prior show she talks about it. Can you tell us what you saw, what got you to help her start the business?
Well, the first thing we recognize, my husband and I recognize, is that she really loves jewelry. You know, she's from the time she can talk. She was just always attracted to anything that sparkled. So we saw a consistent pattern in her. And so when she came to the point where she was just finding anywhere we went, every time she came home from school, playground, on the bus, she found pieces of jewelry, and she would bring it home and start collecting things and then making jewelry out of these broken and misplaced pieces. So you just kind of watch the kids for a while to see, and just like with any child, you look for behavior patterns and see what's going with their interest. But with her, it was just so clear. It wasn't, you know, some children, it's kind of like, okay, let me try this month, and then a few months they like something else, right? You know, in and out of different sports, that type of thing. But with her, she was very consistent what she liked. And then she just on her own started watching the videos of how to make certain things. And when she started making jewelry, and I believe someone bought a piece of jewelry off of you? Two pieces of jewelry off of you from school. It was kind of like, well, honey, do you want to start your own business? And she said yes, very easily, because she also decided at an early age that she didn't want to work for anyone. And that was from watching generations of business owners. So she already had that in her, so it made the decision very easy. So I think for my husband and I, we always raised our children to be leaders, and which is, of course, an important, not the most important trait when it comes to entrepreneurship. So that transition from being confident and being a leader, it made it easier for her to transform into a business owner. Yeah.
Okay. How do you enjoy the relationship with your mother as a business partner?
With my mom, it's pretty easy to work with my mom, and I really enjoy working with her. As she said, of course there will be some disagreements, but we find a way to get around it. We find a way to have a happy medium. And you know, of course I'm not always the easiest person to talk to, and she's not always the easiest person to talk to, but again, we figure a way around it, and we work together, and we talk to each other, and we make sure that we are on the same page, and if we're not, then we talk about that. And she's really taught me, as I've started in the businesses and even when I was younger, just to positive and to be kind to other people, and to make sure that I don't, because sometimes I tend to get a little aggressive because I get tired, or I get like because I'm a kid. But she's kind of taught me to work on that, and I learn from her, and it makes it just a lot easier to work with her. Yeah.
That's good to know.
What kind of involvement do you have in the business of your children? How do you measure, pace your involvement in their business?
I determine based off of their own ambition, put it that way. So their drive, because what I don't want to do is enable them. I don't want to, it's not my business. I want to make it clear that it is their business. So you have to take the wheel and you have to drive this. So don't come pulling too much from me, because it's your business. So with them, as I see their activity and I see their desire to move to the next level or to get certain things accomplished, I follow suit. Now there are times where I'll see opportunities, I'm like, okay, you need to jump on this, and I'll be aggressive, and because as a parent, I know when my child needs that extra push, and I'm there to push. But when ideally it is for them to take control of their own business, and that's the trait of being a leader. That's what I want them to be. This is just a form of leadership that I'm instilling in them. So they have to go with it, and try not to be one of try not. I'm a mom, so it's hard. Mothers naturally want to nurture and make sure they're okay, and I have to monitor, make sure you're not too tired. You're not overwhelmed. You have time to be a kid, but. Overall, I have to really allow them to take control of their business and be the CEO. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So when they're working about I take it that when they're working about their goals, do you help them with their goals as well?
Yes.
Definitely.
You would say that, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I do. And helping them to define their goals, first of all, realizing, even with us adults, sometimes we just don't even know why we do what we're doing and what are their goals and what we're trying to accomplish. So I do help them with their goals. I make sure that they're involved in different business programs, and networking is a very key, and so you could appreciate that. I take my children to whatever networking events I can take them to. They're there. I want to make sure they can communicate with other people. They understand eye contact. They know how to speak to people. So they have those good intercommunicational, social skills, all of those type of skills that are necessary to be in business. And just in life, I believe that a lot of our young people are missing. So I assist them by allowing other people to assist them. Exposing them to community leaders, like I said, community programs, entrepreneurship programs. So they've been, they've really had the pleasure of taking part of some really wonderful tools throughout, not even just area and in other areas. And it's been great for them, just to allow them to grow.
Right.
I got you. How much do you get them involved in social media?
Yeah.
They probably do that themselves.
It's funny.
Actually, my brother and I are actually not very much into social media all that much. My mom actually had to push us to do a lot of the social media, because I told him, she said that she handles a lot of the media and the marketing.
Yeah.
And but now I'm getting older, I need to start handling that a little bit more. So I'm just learning, a lot of different things and the different aspects to what's so important with social media and how it's so important. But yeah, she definitely pushed us to getting it. That was not our ideas. That she was the one that discovered that for us to do. Yeah.
It's funny, you have to push kids to be on social media. Usually not the problem, but
it is a major question I'm asking, because I wouldn't go as far to say I'm neutral. I understand social media. I love it. Maybe I love is a strong word. I understand it, but I am concerned personally with the personal relationship skills, the contact amongst people. And social media is definitely a skill. My take is running people's lives. People are not running their lives to some degree.
Right.
That's my concern with it. I understand it as a tool. Probably, I'm going to go even off before social media.
Okay.
The movie Welcome to America with Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
You remember?
Oh, yes.
You have the king and the queen sitting at this side of the table. The son is sitting at the other end of the table. To talk to him, they push a button over here. To me, that was the beginning of social media. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
Because today, you can be sitting over here, somebody sitting next to a mom and son sitting next, or maybe the son is sitting over here, to be more realistic. He's sitting over here, right here. The mom is sitting behind, he texts the mother. Well, you can just turn around and talk to the mother. Now, I'm talking about the extreme of it being taken.
Yes.
That's the point I'm trying to make. The other point is I did a brief. Rarely do I really speak. Not that I love it. People want me to, but I try to manage my schedule. And once I was asked to talk at the Springfield Women's Center. So I went and spoke. And after finishing, I was talking about networking naturally. After I finished, there was a young kid who ran up to me. He said, we don't communicate anymore. We don't talk to one another. Bill Gates says the most dominating companies in the future will be the one with high tech and high personal touch. So I think we got to do the balance of it.
Yes, I agree.
Balance both.
It is, and it is about balance. And I think you have to gauge how you're using the social media to connect. If that's your only way of communicating with people, if you're not out there personally touching and really connecting with individuals that way, then yeah, there's no balance there. But I know, like for us, we're out there, we're meeting people, and then we just take it a step further, and then we connect with them after meeting them in person, so we can continue that relationship. And I personally love, I love social media because to me it's just a virtual platform. I met you here, we spoke, we had a great conversation. Let's follow up. Online. And now I'm getting to know you. I'm seeing about your family. I'm sharing information about me, and then I control what I put out there. But I want you to get to know me because people do business with people that they. That's right. You know, when they trust, they like. So all these type of things. So social media to me is a wonderful way to use it as a tool to get people to know you, to like you, and know that they can trust you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what, I try to educate my children about. They're minors, so of course there's a restriction there. But again, they're using it for business. It's not so much for personal. So I like the fact that they're not into social media for the personal part, but helping them with the business. It's a lot easier because now, okay, this is business. They're not putting everything out there. They're not putting all the information about where they are, where they can be found. And that's what's important. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's the mother part.
Okay, well, a good part, I must say.
Yes.
Now, your son, is he also, I know that she's now started homeschooling. How about your son? Is it the same situation? Is it a different one? What?
No. He's a very social person, so he needs to be out in school with other individuals.
But it's probably easier to handle blogging. The son does blogging.
Yes.
It's much more easy. Not like jewelry, we gotta be home and touch it and do this. It's less. You can do it anywhere at much more easily.
Exactly. Right. So it's not as demanding on his time, on our time. So he's able to, go to school, have a charismatic personality, and out there meeting people, and then come home and do what he needs to do. But so that works out better for him. So and easier for me to just deal with homeschooling one child.
So you are the one homeschooling her?
I am. I do it, but because she's really independent. I mean, I'm the one that has to make sure everything's in order.
Yeah, she gives me the schedule that I have to follow throughout the day for the homeschool, but I go ahead and read the chapters and do the work that's listed and take the tests and things like that. And I'm not really taught, which I actually feel is better because when I was in school teaching, when I was hearing the teachers, they would repeat the same thing over and over again. And then when they kept talking and talking, I would keep losing the things they said before, and I would lose interest. But when I can read what I need to read, what I need to focus on, I can be in my own time, and I can measure and really focus on what I need to focus. I feel it's just a lot better for me.
Okay.
And that's why I say, so working with her with that and her business and my business, it's a lot, but I made sure I had a support system.
Exactly.
I always have a support system, family, friends who I know I can count on to handle this. Or, okay, I can't be here, can you take this child there? So we work together as a team to really support one another. She has a mentor, a jewelry mentor, who's able to help her to grow in her skills. She could be with her sometimes, so that's the biggest thing, is that I always say it takes a village, and it really does, to be able to raise entrepreneurial children, and then do the things without being burnt out as a parent. You have to be able to have a strong support system. I have a strong support system of other business women who she's able to grow up and watch, see role models of strong business women, and who are there to support me in my business. We're networking and working together. So that's how we make it work. Yeah. Like I said, you can understand that as a networker. You understand the relationship building. That's huge, and that's something I learned early in business, that have to build relationships to make it work. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you mentioned, tell us a bit, not necessarily getting into the technical aspect of it, tell us a bit about your business.
Sure.
Because you mentioned that a couple of times so far, so we don't want the audience to be in a mystery.
Right, yeah, that's true. They're like, hey, she kept saying whatever. That's a good point, yeah. I am a financial strategist and a wealth coach and partner with LBG Financial Services. And I co-founded that business with my brother. So it is a family-owned financial services firm. We do retirement planning, college planning, wealth management, and we kind of cover those areas. So, and of course, all of that knowledge I'm able to use and help her with her business. I think that's why she has such an eye. She's looks at the money, She does.
I need it.
Yeah, she's good when it comes to. She's very disciplined when it comes to money. So I'm glad that rubbed off on her. So yeah, being in business, I've been in business about 8 years now. So again, helping her, I'm able to learn things from her because her business is totally different than my business. And sometimes it's fun, helping her with her business because of the different dynamics. And by helping her in certain areas, some of the things I learned that I needed to learn to assist her, I was able to use for myself to say, okay, you know what, I never thought about incorporating this type of marketing strategy with my business. So it helps.
Okay.
Really
And then she's able to help me in my company because she's like works with me with the money and everything like that, and she's able to work the books because she knows how to work with them, which is a big plus.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I take it that sometimes you guys do business together, and I imagine that people who use your services, financial planning, can also use jewelry. I imagine.
Exactly.
Yes, it does work out.
You're swapping customers.
Yes, it does work out. It was funny because when I started with her and I would help her at her booths or when she was spending, she would always say, "Mommy, make sure you put your cards out there on the table." I mean, no, this is about you. I'm not here to advertise me. It's about you. But she was like, "Mommy, put your cards out here." Eventually, I kind of had to keep it handy because people would always ask for my card. So I said, "Okay, I guess you have a point here." Yes, you have a point. So, but she always wants to share the situation. She's a great kid. She doesn't like being on the spotlight all the time, but. She feels like I'm neglecting my business. So like, okay, she looks out for me. That's good. To have someone that's looking out for me, So it's fun.
Okay.
Yes.
So Marcella, I have a question for you. What do you consider as the biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge is similar to something that Gabrielle has stated before, and that is making sure that I am managing my time effectively. And I think that goes without even explaining, but just being a person that is handling, again, a couple different businesses, and being a person, making sure I'm taking time for me. And of course, I'm married. I've been married for 16 years. I'm happily married, and make sure I have time for my husband. So it takes a lot of proper calculation of time. So I would say the biggest challenge is making sure that I am properly allocating the time that's needed for me, for family, and for business.
She's a workaholic. She takes on a lot of different jobs, handling my business, my brother's business, her business, and handling, books and things like that. And she says that when there's too much work, she gets frantic, but when there's too little work, she gets bored.
Yes.
So she's trying to find a medium.
That's right. I always find that medium. I think a lot of women can relate to that.
Right.
Yeah, so probably some men too. Right.
What would you consider the biggest success?
I think my biggest success would be right here, and my son, who's headed off to boot camp, ROTC, boot camp, basic trainer right now. Those two, I think they are a product of what I've always desired, and that is people who can contribute to the world. That was a goal for both my husband and I. And everything I did, my father always told us there are two things. You're a leader and not a follower. And you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. And in everything I did, from business to family, my goal was always to be a part of the solution. So raising my children to be a part of the solution, make sure my career was centered about being a part of the solution was crucial to me. So now that I can look and see, okay, you know what, my kids are part of the solution. Just look at everything that's going on in the economy today. They're part of the solution. They have a business. They're not relying on situations and worried about everything that's going on. And just knowing, I'm working with my brother. We work great together, and we're part of the solution. So that is my biggest success.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you think of your mom?
Definitely the best mother ever. It's an obvious. But I feel that, she definitely is a wonderful role model for me and for, my business. And I feel that she's an example of a strong woman that is doing something that can help people, and that is, a strong businesswoman. And I just really look up to my mom, and she just really helps me in everything that I do. And it'd be really difficult to run a business if I didn't have to run my business if I didn't have my mom. So I am really thankful for my mom, and she's awesome.
On camera.
Here's the money.
She didn't sell short. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming on our show. We definitely appreciate that. Yes. Doing 2 shows, this being the second one. Folks, if you haven't seen the first show, you should definitely go back and see it, or call the FPA so you can get a copy of it. We really appreciate having you over here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
you. It was great.
Well, we thank you very much for tuning in, and I just want to remind you, yes, that we have a breakfast club here in Fairfax every third Thursday of the month, as well as Expo. I thank you again, my guest, for being with us.
Thank you.
So we'll do this again 5 years from now. You have a very nice evening. Thank you very much.
This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basilelemba.com.